Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving deep into the reign of one of the most fascinating figures in Indian history, Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar. We'll explore how a young boy, who ascended the throne at just 13, went on to build one of the largest and most powerful empires of his time. It's a story of battles, political intrigue, and a vision that changed the subcontinent forever. When the young Akbar took the throne in 1556, the Mughal position was far from secure. His father, Humayun, had only just reclaimed Delhi, and the empire was fragile. The biggest threat came from the Afghans, led by a brilliant Hindu general named Hemu. Hemu had captured both Agra and Delhi, crowned himself king, and was ready to drive the Mughals out of India for good. The stage was set for a decisive clash. This led to the legendary Second Battle of Panipat in November 1556. The Mughal army was outnumbered and morale was low. For a while it looked like Hemu's forces were going to win the day. They were crushing the Mughal wings and center. But then, in a moment that changed history, a stray arrow struck Hemu in the eye. He collapsed, and his army, seeing their leader fall, panicked and fled. This single moment of chance secured the throne for Akbar and marked the real beginning of the Mughal Empire's consolidation. But the challenges weren't just external. The young emperor was under the regency of his tutor, Bairam Khan, a powerful and loyal but also very authoritarian figure. Bairam Khan had been instrumental in securing the empire, but his dominance chafed many other powerful nobles at court. As Akbar grew into a young man, he wanted to rule in his own right. The tension came to a head around 1560. Akbar, supported by his foster mother Mahamanga and other influential figures, decided to dismiss Bairam Khan. It was a delicate and dangerous political maneuver. After a brief rebellion, Bairam Khan submitted. Akbar treated him generously, offering him a choice of positions or a journey to Mecca. This episode was Akbar's first major step in asserting his own authority and taking the reins of the empire into his own hands. With Bairam Khan gone, Akbar was his own man, but the internal power struggles were far from over. A powerful group of Uzbek nobles, who held important territories, began to challenge his authority. They had been key supporters of the Mughals, but they resented the centralizing policies Akbar was trying to implement. This led to a series of revolts in the 1560s. Akbar had to personally lead campaigns against them, showing both his military skill and his ruthless determination. By crushing these rebellions, he sent a clear message. He was the undisputed master of the empire, and the nobility served at his pleasure, not the other way around. Now firmly in control, Akbar embarked on a remarkable period of expansion from the 1560s to the mid-1570s. His goal was to bring the entire subcontinent under his rule. The first major campaign was against Malwa in 1561. Next came the conquest of Garh-Katanga, a rich Gond kingdom ruled by the legendary Rani Durgavati. She fought bravely but was ultimately defeated, and the kingdom's immense wealth was absorbed into the Mughal treasury. But the real prize was Rajasthan, the homeland of the proud and defiant Rajput clans. Conquering them was crucial for securing the roads to Gujarat and for asserting Mughal dominance. The siege of Chittor in 1567 is one of the most famous episodes. After a long and brutal siege, the fort fell. This was followed by the capture of another major fort, Ranthambore. However, Akbar's policy towards the Rajputs was not just about conquest. This is where his political genius truly shines. He understood that he couldn't rule India by force alone. He needed allies. So he initiated a policy of reconciliation and alliance with the Rajput rulers. He married several Rajput princesses, including the Princess of Amber, who became the mother of his heir, Jahangir. These weren't just political marriages. They were a cornerstone of his new policy. The Rajput rulers who allied with him were given high ranks in the Mughal administration and army. They were treated as partners in the empire, not as conquered subjects. They were allowed to retain their kingdoms and their customs. This brilliant strategy did two things. It pacified a powerful and martial group, and it created a new composite ruling class. This class was made up of Mughals, Turks, Afghans, and now Indian Rajputs, all bound by personal loyalty to the emperor. This created a more stable and inclusive foundation for the empire. After securing Rajasthan, Akbar turned his attention to Gujarat in 1572. Gujarat was incredibly wealthy due to its thriving ports and trade. Its conquest gave the Mughal Empire control over this immense wealth and opened up a direct window to the sea and trade with the Ottoman Empire in Europe. Following this, he launched campaigns into eastern India, conquering Bihar and Bengal and pushing the Afghan chieftains further east. By 1576, Akbar's empire stretched from Kabul in the west to Bengal in the east, and from Kashmir in the north down to the Deccan Plateau. But an empire this vast was bound to face challenges. In the early 1580s, a major rebellion broke out. Several factors contributed to it. Some nobles were unhappy with his administrative and land revenue reforms. More significantly, Orthodox religious leaders were deeply alarmed by his liberal religious policies and his interest in other faiths, which culminated in his new spiritual path, the Din-e-Ilahi. The rebels proclaimed Akbar's half-brother Mirza Hakim, who ruled Kabul, as the rightful emperor. This was the most serious threat to Akbar's rule since the early days, but Akbar responded with decisive action. He marched an army to Kabul, defeated Mirza Hakim, and re-established his authority. This victory not only crushed the rebellion but also further centralized his power. With the internal threats neutralized, Akbar once again turned his focus to expansion, this time towards the northwest. This region was strategically vital, controlling the invasion routes into India. He annexed Kashmir in 1586, followed by Sindh, and finally, after a long and difficult struggle, he captured the mighty fortress of Kandahar in 1595. Securing the northwest frontier was one of his greatest strategic achievements, protecting the empire from external threats for decades to come. So in the span of about 4 decades, Akbar transformed a precarious kingdom into a vast, stable, and prosperous empire. He did it through military genius, ruthless determination when needed, and incredible political foresight. His policy of integrating the Rajputs and creating a composite nobility was a masterstroke that gave the empire its unique strength and character. His reign wasn't just about conquest, it was about building a new kind of state, one that tried to bring together the diverse peoples of India under a single unified administration. Akbar's legacy is immense. He laid the administrative, military, and political foundations upon which the Mughal Empire would flourish for the next century and a half. His story is a powerful reminder of how a single leader's vision can shape the destiny of millions. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey into Akbar's reign interesting, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into history. Let us know in the comments which historical figure you'd like us to cover next. See you in the next video.